Hello, everyone. Bryson and Jonna Wise here. How are you guys doing today? We are so glad to be back and getting things up and going. And I dealt with bronchitis a little bit and I was not able to talk, needless to say, because my vocal cords were affected. And so I took some time off to heal and recover from it. But we are back and we are ready to go because God has put some important things on our heart and we would like to share that with you. So, over the next couple of videos that you're going to be seeing from us, we are going to be talking about how to spice up your intimacy life within your marriage. And so, yes, it's that key word, sex. And it's just like, oh my gosh, dun, dun, dun. It's like one of those things that's like, it's a forbidden word within the marriage. Do I want to talk about it? But it's something that we have to. And so today we are going to talk about the foundation of sex within a marriage. What does God say about that within a marriage?
So we're going to start with Ephesians 5. Ephesians 5 has some wonderful things to say about sex, marriage. I recommend reading the whole book, but let me pull out my scriptures here. Ephesians 5, let's see, 31 and 32. That's where it talks about, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. That right there is a command to basically come together, and that's why it's so important on your honeymoon to come together and consecrate your marriage sexually that night, because basically you're uniting your souls together that night, away from your parents as one flesh. That night, when you become married, you become one flesh. You're no longer two, and so that's what sex does. Is it really wraps you up together as one, and it solidifies that. And the enemy and the devil hates it, and he's so against Christians enjoying great sex lives that he's lied to us, and he lies to the church constantly about it's evil, it's gross, those kind of things, and he does whatever he can to distort it. So we just encourage you to lean on scripture and truth in that God did create sex, and he created it wonderful and to be a strength in the marriage and not a weakness. So
very good, because that's the one thing too, that when you do get married, it's that excitement that builds up, that you get married, that you get to bond with your spouse that evening, because you are one. You are not two people anymore, people, okay? You become one, because when you do stuff, you feel that effects of, like, if I do something separate, but don't get me wrong, it's healthy to a certain point that we do, things as individuals. But when you are married and you come together, you are meeting each other's needs, and you are filling in those places where he needs, maybe it's like your husband's like maybe physical touch, words of affirmation, the 5 love languages. Maybe your wife is needing, also words of affirmation, and roles can be reversed as well. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But it's really important to build a solid foundation from the very beginning of being with your spouse, being one, talking about sex. I know it gets uncomfortable. We've dealt with that ourselves, because you're just like, oh, this seems so weird. This just seems, gross. And, because maybe you were raised with that, like sex is gross. And, and you were raised your whole life that, sex is awful. You don't do it until you get married. But then we deal with that reverse piece that we come into marriage and, like, all of a sudden, like, sex is okay. And you're like, well, I've been trained my whole life that sex is wrong and you need to wait. Then all of a sudden I have all this freedom to do what I want with my spouse. And it's just like, it's kind of scary at the same time, because you just don't know what to do. And so then that's where we kind of get trapped, and friction comes in and arguing comes in, because you're trying to figure this out together. And give yourself some room to make lots of mistakes, because even after 13 years of marriage, for us, we'll be celebrating this month, we still don't have it all together. We're still figuring it all together, figuring it out. And, we're never going to arrive, but it gets better, people. It gets better. And the more that you get on the same page of talking and, maybe go on to scripture, maybe if you have not been in the Bible, see what God has to say and pray about it before you guys go to your bedroom. Make it that special place for one another.
Absolutely. Song of Solomon. We're going to talk a lot about that later, but that is a great place to start. Again, Ephesians has some good stuff about just marriage and a little bit on sex, but Song of Solomon is wonderful. That is a whole wonderful picture of what true biblical married sex is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
And again, we'll talk about details later, but that is a great place to start. Read that together, pray about it. How many, that's one thing we were convicted of is how often do you pray about your sex life? How often do you pray about your marriage bed? A lot of people don't. A lot of people kind of keep it separate. It's like, oh, that's in the closet over here. That's something that we don't really want to talk to God about. But he created it, so obviously he wants to know about it. He's interested in it. He wants it to be good,
right?
Absolutely. So just encourage you to start there. And again, we're going to put lots of good stuff out there over the next few weeks, and we're excited. So
yeah, so start taking notes. If you guys have been watching us and following us for a little bit, take down notes, and key things, because there's things that we have learned that we're implementing, and these are key things for you guys to apply within your marriage, especially you two ladies. We all are in that moment of raising babies, and we're going to talk about this more too, but we didn't bring on, our children. For us, we didn't bring them on from the very beginning. It was us. But we're going to be talking to first-time marriages, whether you're a blended family as well, second marriage, third marriage, it's still a marriage. And this is what we want to see happen for you guys to be successful in your intimacy with one another. And so that's what we're going to be talking about is, the blended piece, kids, all of the shebang. We're going to be putting it out there for you guys over the next part of the videos that we're going to be putting out for you guys. So
we're excited. We really have a heart to see marriages flourish, and this is a huge area of conflict, of wonderful things, but it's got a lot of tension in it, and so we really want to talk about it, and we really want to put it out there to help everybody. So it's been a struggle for us at times. It's been awesome at times. We're not, again, like Jonna said, we're not perfect. We're still learning. We will until the day we go home, but in the process, we really want to help as many people as we can. So we got it.
All right. Well, thanks. Awesome. We appreciate you guys watching it and following us, and we absolutely love marriage, and I hope you guys love marriage too, and we want to see you guys be successful. So if you guys have any questions for us, please feel free to write us. You can go to our blog site.
Yep, it's johnandbryson.life. You can hit us up on Facebook. Search for Jonna and Bryson. We're on YouTube as well with these videos. And then we're going to start putting some other things out there too. So more things to come for sure. You got it.
Well, we hope you guys have a wonderful day and make your marriage amazing today. So we love you guys.
Love you guys.